Excited to be here. Farah invited me over here to talk a little bit about what it's like maintaining peace in a relationship from a mental health perspective. So what I would like to talk today about is about communicating your feelings and emotions when you're in a relationship. And I promise it's going to be really short, so please don't fall asleep on me. So we're going to start with the original communicators, the best communicators in the world, and those are babies. Has anyone been around a baby recently? Yeah. You can tell, they're my friends. Okay, so babies, anytime they need something, you know about it because they cry. Like they cry whether they're hungry, they cry when they're sad, they cry when they're happy, they cry when they're uncomfortable, and it's up to the grown-ups to figure out what does this baby need? What is happening right now? And I bring that up is because in our relationships sometimes we expect our partners, our spouses, our significant others to guess what we need. Kind of like we expect, babies are supposed to guess what we need. So in some ways we need to be more like babies where we communicate and say what we're feeling every time we're feeling a type of way. And then in other ways need to be less like babies and be specific about what we're feeling and also what we need in that moment. So I'm gonna reference my notes right now. All right, so I want you to imagine a scenario where one spouse returns home burdened by a difficult day at work, while the other one is really excited and they eagerly await, hoping to have a pleasant evening. Like maybe they got home early, they had a really good day, they cooked some dinner, yada yada. They get home together, they're each on different vibes, misunderstandings start happening, tensions escalate, and then what could have been a really cool evening ends up being just not it, Both individuals, they feel misunderstood, they feel alone, they feel trapped, and unspoken emotions, and that leads to conflict. So how can we navigate this emotional terrain? All right, so it's really two essential things. One is naming how you feel. That involves going inward, okay, what's happening right now? And then the other way is communicating what we need. So with emotions, they can be complex, but overall they end up in 5 categories. They can be happiness, sadness, disgust, fear, and anger. If any of you have ever seen the movie Inside Out, it's really similar to those. And I said anger last intentionally because that's usually the first one people are trying to share. I'm mad and I'm going to tell it now, but anger a lot of times really covers up a lot of more vulnerable emotions like fear and sadness, but no one wants to feel vulnerable because that's gross, so we say angry and that's cool. But we need to be able to recognize and share what our internal state is. So even if you're saying I'm just feeling some type of way, that's okay. You let the other person know I don't know what's going on with me, but I just need you to know that it has nothing to do with you, but it is happening. Now we move on to step 2. And step 2 is where we explore the importance of articulating what we need. This is the part where we are less like babies and we say, I need this from you. So each person, everyone processes emotions differently. And being able to say what you need, you say okay, is this a situation where we need to work together? That's called co-regulation. Or is this something where I just need time on my own to figure things out? Self-regulation. So in that example I said earlier, that partner who came home from work after a long day, they might say, I feel really tense from work and I need 5 minutes to decompress. Sit alone, by myself, no noise, and just decompress. Or the other spouse might be I've been feeling really distant from you and I want to feel closer to you. So now that those cards are on the table, now the two of you can work together to figure out, how to deal with it. And then once you do that, you lay the emotions on the table, you create space for understanding and compromise, and you make your relationship stronger. So if you find that, situation is difficult to navigate alone, consider seeking the guidance of a therapist like me. It's not only reserved for when you're in a panic, or if you are if you're in a state of panic, if you're in a state of crisis, it's really there to figure out what's going on with you, what's going on with these emotions, and figure out how to build that relationship, whether it's with yourself or whether it's with another person. So, in conclusion, I would like us to embrace the beauty of emotional transparency, cultivate understanding, and make our connections stronger so that way we can make our lives richer. May our relationships be filled with the warmth of genuine connection and open communication. Thank you so much for having me today.